The graveyard where no guard survives the shift. But this guard escaped, not completely. A new guard arrives to complete the shift. Authority warns, do your work carefully. The last guard is no more. I locked the cemetery gate and entered the security room. Everything seemed normal until the CCTV showed something impossible. A dead body lying on a mortuary bed, moving slightly. Compelled, I leave the security room to return the body to the bed. After settling the body, someone locked us inside the mortuary. I hear screams echoing. Panic strikes. I break the window and escape. Outside, a group of ghost-like figures stands before me, and then they vanish instantly. I can't believe my eyes. The CCTV layout has changed. Instead of 8 cameras, there are now 100 tiny screens. Every screen shows the same mortuary bed, but from different years. One is black and white, 1950s, one is grainy, 1990s, and one is HD, today. I tried the handle. Locked. I was a prisoner in a room designed to watch others. I turned back to the monitors, and my heart skipped a beat. The grid had expanded. Hundreds of screens, all showing that same stone bed across different decades. And in every single one, the body was sitting up, staring directly into the lens. You finally force the door open, but instead of the graveyard, you walk into a hallway of infinite doors, all labeled security room. Logic had left the building. I stepped out, expecting the cold night air, but I found myself in a corridor that stretched into infinity. Every door was mine. Every door led back to the same desk, the same smell of rotting lilies, and the same flickering screens. I wasn't just a guard anymore. I was a loop in the system. You look down at your hands. They are turning gray, like the body on the mortuary bed. That's when I realized the warning wasn't about the ghosts outside. It was about the room itself. The last guard didn't leave. He just became part of the footage. And as I watched my skin turn to stone, I saw a new car pull up to the gate. A new guard. My replacement. And I found myself reaching for the record button. Every detail repeats. I am trapped. My life, my shift, became part of the system forever. The record button didn't just click, it pulsed. Under my thumb, the plastic felt like a beating heart. As the red light bled onto my stone gray skin, the 100 monitors didn't just show the past, they started to leak. I didn't walk down that hallway. I drifted. Every security room door I passed was humming a different frequency of static. I grabbed a brass handle labeled 1984 and ripped it open. Inside, I saw myself, or a version of me, staring at a bulky CRT monitor. That version of me turned around, but his face was nothing but a smear of white noise. The loop doesn't just repeat. A voice crackled over the intercom, sounding like 1,000 dead radio stations playing at once. It compresses. I looked back at the monitors in the main hub. The new guard, the replacement, wasn't just some random guy. He was wearing my watch. He had my wedding ring. He had the same scar on his chin from a childhood bike wreck. He was me, not a twin, not a clone, but a save file. The hallway began to fold in on itself like a collapsing cardboard box. The infinite doors were shrinking, pulling me back toward the center of the room, the mortuary bed. I tried to scream, but my lungs were filled with dry cement. My legs wouldn't move. I wasn't a prisoner in the room anymore. I was the architecture. I looked at the HD monitor, the Today screen. The new version of me reached for the door handle. "Don't do it, kid." I tried to whisper, but the words came out as an 8-bit digital screech. Suddenly, the perspective flipped. I wasn't looking at the screen anymore. I was looking out from it. I felt the cold, hard surface of the stone bed against my back. I looked up and saw the ceiling-mounted cameras, the very ones I had been monitoring seconds ago. The door to the mortuary creaked open. The new me stepped in, holding a flashlight that cut through the darkness like a blade. He walked over to the desk, sat in the chair, and looked at the monitors. Our eyes locked through the glass. He saw me on the screen, the gray, petrified version of himself, sitting up on the bed. And I saw him, the fresh, living version of me, slowly reaching for the record button. I realized then, there is no last guard. There is only one soul, shattered into 1,000 timestamps, watching itself die over and over in a digital purgatory. I leaned forward, pressed my gray palms against the inside of the monitor glass, and whispered the only thing the system allowed me to say. "Welcome to the night shift. I've been waiting for us." The glass didn't just separate us. It was a membrane of cold data. As the new me pressed his thumb against the record button, the pulse didn't stay on his side. It surged through the screen, hitting my chest like a defibrillator. The room began to strobe. Every monitor in the hub flickered through a different year of my life. The bike wreck, the wedding, the first day on this job, until they all synced into a single blinding white frame. The static wasn't noise anymore. It was a vacuum. The final compression. I felt my physical form dissolve into lines of flickering code. I wasn't the man on the bed anymore, and he wasn't the man in the chair. We were becoming the system itself. The hub. The walls collapsed into a single point of light. The memory. My wedding ring hit the floor with a digital ping, echoing forever.